So, uh, insect taxonomy, many orders have been covered. I have heard that yesterday, probably Hymenoptera has been covered. I have covered the type concepts of systematics. Then I have covered the Apterygota portion. Okay. So I'll take today the Lepidoptera. It's one of the very important order. Rather, I would say it's the most beautiful as well as most notorious order of the insect. Before I start today's class, let me introduce myself. I'm Sourav Chakravarty, undergraduation from BCKV, West Bengal, currently pursuing MSc second year in entomology, IRI New Delhi. I have secured All India rank 1 in JRF examination 2022. So, start with the Lepidoptera. This Lepidoptera contains butterflies and moths. As we have seen, different kinds of butterflies are there in the field, as well as different kinds of moths. This Lepidoptera is one of the most diverse orders of insects because it contains pests, it contains predators, it contains even parasitoids. Some of the families having parasitoids. Many of the Lepidopterans are pollinator also. So, for you, what you need to know that Lepidoptera is such a order which contains everything. Agriculturally important, all the characters are being lied in the Lepidopterans. Predators, you have seen, I don't know whether you know or not, the predatory Lepidopterans are also there, where the larvae are acting as the predator of small insects like mealybugs. Then different pollinators are there. The adult stage mainly acting as a pollinator. They pollinate different kinds of crops, and some notice are there. Some orchids are pollinated by the butterflies. Then pests, there are cent number of pests, as you know. Yellow stem borer, you have seen this image. Sweat. This is this is yellow stem borer, as you can see, Scirpophaga incertulus. How you can identify this? See, two black spots. This means these two black spots indicate that it is a female one. If these two black spots are not there, then it will be a male specimen. Okay. So this Lepidopterans contain pests, as this is an example, yellow stem borer. Like even butterflies are also pests. Like you see here, this is one of the very beautiful and large butterfly you can mostly find in your crucifer ecosystem. Do you know what is this?
Paris Brassica.
Exactly. Very good. This is Pieris brassica. How you can identify? See here. This is two black spots on the dorsal surface of the forewing. This indicates it is a female specimen. Okay. Even if you see from the ventral sides, there also you can find similar black spots in the ventral sides. Okay. But if you see something, some Pieris brassica, where the dorsal surface does not contain these black spots, rather only ventral surface contain these black spots, that means it is a male specimen. Okay, so Lepidoptera is such a order where the sexual dimorphism is visible in the wings. Most of the Lepidopterans having sexual dimorphism visible in the wings. I have cited two examples. Okay, so these are some basic knowledge. Where when you go to field for your ROI experience or ELP experience, whether it is you will find different specimens. So based on that, you can identify that specimens at least up to genus level or its sex. You can identify it correctly. Okay, so uh, we would like to thank these butterflies and moths because they are one of the largest order, and without them, it is not possible. One of the integral part of the nature, the beautiful nature, contains these butterflies and the moths. So now our main topic is to know the taxonomy. As I know, taxonomy means identification. classification, and naming. So, taxonomic hierarchy of Lepidoptera, it contains with everyone know class Insecta, subclass Dicondylia. I have described what is Dicondylia and what is Monocondylia in the Apterygot class. Then infraclass is Pterygota, division is Neoptera, subdivision Endopterygota, then superorder Amphiosmenoptera. That is not needed for you. This is not needed for you. And finally, the order is Lepidoptera. Okay. So this is the taxonomic hierarchy, modern taxonomic hierarchy of Lepidopterans. Now, see, these are two insects. This is one adult. This is, sorry, this is one larvae. Can anyone tell what is this specimen? Any one of you? This is the most important pest of cabbage, cauliflower, like cruciferous vegetables. Any one of you?
Rutella xylostella.
No, this is not Plutella. I'll show you how Plutella looks like. Okay, good try. This is a noctuid. This is a noctuid. The larvae and adult both are same. This is a noctuid pest. Okay. Have you heard about this? Trichoplutia?
Me.
Semilooper.
Yeah, correct. That is Trichoplutia knee. Okay. So this is a noctuid moth and the larval stage is you can see here. Okay. This I want you to identify those specimens based on the images. Okay. So this is the reason. Now, it's an interesting slide. Before I start with the basic concepts of Lepidoptera, how the head looks like, or means thorax looks like, abdomen looks like, let's try to know something very exciting about these Lepidopterans. See, the first insect, this one. Anyone can guess what is the
Penguin moth.
family? Hmm? Tell once. What is the family? Okay, no issue. This is Sphingid. Okay, this is Sphingid, and you can see how they are trying to pollinate the flower. Okay, so as I have mentioned, the pollinator role of Lepidopterans. Okay, now the second one, this one. Do you know what they are doing? Hmm? Anyone? Okay, this is known as mud puddling behavior of butterflies. Mud puddling means what they generally do now. When there is mud or even sweat, even your sweat. Sometimes butterflies or moths are attracted to you. They are not attracted to you, rather they are attracted to the smell coming from your body. Okay. What they need, this mud or the sweat from the body, as you know, it contains lots of sodium. Okay. And this sodium is needed for them for performing their reproduction to increase their fecundity. Okay. So that's why what they generally do after mating, they generally take these nutrients like sodium from the mud or the sweat or anything else. They generally take this sodium nutrient and which is necessary for them to increase their fecundity, to increase their egg production, to increase their immunity of their uh, larvae, means the young ones. Okay, so it is known as mud puddling behavior of Lepidopterans. Fine. Okay, come to the third one, means this one. Okay, do you know what is this? It should, you should know this. See, this is a fruit which is sucked by a moth. Okay, fruit is sucked by a moth. So, what is this? This is one kind of fruit sucking moth. Okay, so what it indicates that only the Lepidopteran larvae are not injurious to the plant. Rather, adults of some of the genus, some of the species may be injurious to the plant. One of the best example is this fruit-sucking moth, Otheris phulonica. Okay, so you have heard probably different fruit-sucking moths are there. So these kind of questions may come like in which particular pest of moth or which of the following pest is damaging to the crop in adult stage? The answer is fruit-sucking moth. Not only these fruit-sucking moths, but also some lichenid butterflies like your pomegranate butterfly. Okay, the pomegranate butterfly also suck the saps from the fruit. Okay, these are some examples where adults are injurious to the crop. One is fruit-sucking moth under family Noctuidae. Another one is pomegranate butterfly, under the family Lichenidae. Okay, just try to remember these two things. Coming to this fourth portion, anyone can tell these ants. This is an ant. This is a larva. The green one is a larva. So what the ants are doing to larva? Are they predating on the larva? Anyone tell whether the ant acting as a predator or not, or something else? Anyone?
They want honeydew, sir.
Okay, they want honeydew. Anyone else? Anyone other than that? Okay, no issue. Actually, these ants are not predator. Okay, these particular larvae, it is a lichenid larvae. Okay, the lichenid butterfly, they are young one. This is the lichenid larvae. So what they generally do, this lichenid larvae produce some sap, which is not actually honeydew. They are producing some sap, which is very much rich in sugars as well as amino acids. Okay, and these ants are attracted to that particular sap secreted from these particular larvae. Okay, don't use the honeydew term. Honeydew term is something different and it is exclusively for the sucking pests. Okay, so they are producing some sap which are rich in sugar as well as amino acids. The ants are attracted to them, and sorry by that one, the larvae gets uh, the larvae are protected. The larvae are protected by the ants. So they are producing such kind of mutualism where the Lepidopteran larvae or this lichenid larvae give them food. In return, the ants give them protection. Okay. So these are this is another one, fourth point, that is mutualism. Fifth and the most exciting point, this one. You can see how much big the mouth parts is, how much big it is. This is probably it is Calpides. Okay. I'm not exactly sure whether it is Calpodes or Calpides. Maybe it is Calpides. So these Calpides moths, they are having so much big and dented proboscis that it can suck the blood from our body. Okay. So this is another thing that Lepidopterans can be pest of the humans also. You can see it is sucking from the body of ours, and see, this is the point of sucking. Okay, So what we have covered about the basic habitat and their characters of general characters of lepidopterans. They may be acting as a pollinator. They can be acting as a pest. They are having mutualism. They are having mutualism with some others, general like ants. They are very much attracted to the sodium for their nutrition. And finally, they can even suck the blood from human body. Okay. Now come to our main topic about Lepidoptera. As you know, it is the second largest insect order with more than 1,50,000 species. Okay. So generally the question comes, what is the first largest insect order, or rather, which is the largest insect order? Anyone?
Polio.
Okay, Coleoptera. Right. Coleoptera having more than 2 lakh described species. Okay. That means this much species are described, even more species may be there. Okay. And this Lepidopteran contains more than 100 families and 46 superfamilies. More than 100 families. And you are reading only few of them, maybe 10 or 12 families you will read. Okay. So it is a highly diverse insect order. This Lepidoptera generally divided into two portions. Okay, based on their size. One is Microlepidopterans, another one is Macrolepidopterans, based on their sizes. Okay, this Macrolepidopterans constitute of this Noctuidae and all, and Microlepidoptera constitute of Galachids and all. There are many families out there. Okay, within the Macrolepidoptera, sorry, 1 minute. Within the Macrolepidoptera, what I am writing now, the number of families are more. Okay, but described species are less, bit less. Whereas in case of Microlepidoptera, families are less, but the described species are more. So what we can tell, in case of Microlepidopteran, the species diversity are highest as compared to the Macrolepidopterans. Whereas in case of Macrolepidopterans, the familial diversity is highest as compared to the Microlepidopterans. Okay, so this is one of the reason why people are interested now to uh, to the Microlepidopterans, because there is a lot of scope to describe new species or to detect new species from different geographical or geographical regions. Okay, so simply what you need to know, based on the sizes, Lepidoptera are classified into two portions. What are the two portions? Macrolepidoptera, Microlepidoptera. Macrolepidoptera constitutes those Noctuidae, Pyralidae like this. Microlepidoptera constitutes Galachids, Torticids, Gracilarids, Plutelidae like this one. In case of Macrolepidopterans, the familial diversity is more. Whereas in case of Microlepidopteran, the species diversity are most. Okay. So the question comes, why it is known as Lepidoptera. Okay. Simply break down. Lepido means scale, pteron means wing. So it is a particular group of insects where wings are covered with overlapping scales, as you can see here. Where is that? As you can see this one, the overlapping scales. Okay, these particular scales are maybe unicellular, maybe multicellular. Okay, most of the scales are unicellular type. As you can see, different type of scales are there. See here. Okay, these kind of cells constitutes of a short pedicel, and this longitudinal striation. These are supported by some transverse trabecules. Likewise. Okay. So this is bit higher standard. What you need to know that different kind of scales are present in the Lepidopteran wings. They are all overlapping scales. They may be unicellular or multicellular. Most of the scales are unicellular. There are some scales which are multicellular in nature. Each scale constitute of a short or long pedicel and this longitudinal striation supported by transverse trabecules. That's it. Okay. Up to this, there is any problem? You can freely tell if you have any problem. Any problem? No problem, no? Okay. Then we move to the next one. Coming to the general characteristics of the Lepidopteran, starting with head, thorax, and abdomen. Okay. So, as I always mention for taxonomy, you need to read tagmata wise. What are the head characters first, then what are the thorax characters, and then what are the abdominal characters. Okay. So, starting with head, as you know, as you read in the morphology, that Lepidopteran head is generally constituted of highly developed frontoclypeal region. Highly developed frontoclypeal region. Okay, as you can see in this portion, this picture, this is the fronts and this is the clypeus. So this median frontal area is the highest or is the most well developed area of a Lepidopteran head, because most of the portion of the head is covered by the compound eyes, है ना? That's why the all the regions, gena, post gena, they are but reduced, they're bit reduced. Okay, so as I have mentioned, generally it is represented by frontoclypeal region. So it contains ocelli. Compound eyes are always there. Ocelli, in some of the genus, ocelli may not be present. Okay, ocelli may not be present. Many of the genus or many of the families, ocelli is present. Ocelli is there, but some of the families, ocelli may not be there. Okay, so what is there? In place of ocelli, they have some or ocelli-like organ, which is known as chaetosemata. Chaetosemata. Okay, so in place of ocelli, there are some organs which are believed to be uh, used for uh, sensory portion, sensory use. That is chaetosemata in place of ocelli. That may be present in some of the families, not all. Okay, remember this one. Next, if I see the mouth parts, as you can see here, the basic portion of the mouth part is constituted of proboscis and this labial palpi. Like the position of the labial palpi and the arrangement of the labial palpi is very much important taxonomically. Taxonomic importance. This labial palpi. Okay. Some of the families contains maxillary pulpi also. This maxillary pulpi, the number of segments of maxillary pulpi is also taxonomically important. Okay. Mandibles are generally absent in Lepidopterans, but some of the lower group of Lepidopterans, they contain the dentate mandibles. Like, do you know any example? Which Lepidoptera constitute mandibles or which Lepidoptera has mandibles?
Microptericity.
Yeah, correct. Microptericity. It is one of the lower Lepidopteran group which contains the mandibles. Okay. So from head, it is very much deeply scaled. Okay. The different scales occur in different portion of the head, which is definitely taxonomically important, but there is no need to read about that. What I have told that it is represented by frontoclavicular region, number one. Number two, labial palpi is well developed and it is of taxonomic importance. Similarly, maxillary palpi is also maybe well developed, may not be well developed based on the taxonomic family. Okay. Then we have then the Lepidopterans have a proboscis which is suctorial, constituted of gallia of maxillae. Okay, and mandibles are generally absent except Micropterygida and subsequent some lower Lepidopterans. Okay. Uh, One question for you: can you identify this particular insect? Any one of you? This is a very common insect. You can see in the crucifer ecosystem again. Do you know, or can you able to identify this particular insect? Any one of you? Okay, no issue. This is again Pieris. Pieris, better to tell Pieris species. Okay. Now, type of antenna. Type of antenna in Lepidopterans. As the Lepidopterans contains different types of antenna. Most of you have read that moths contain bipectinate antenna and butterflies having either clavate or capitate antenna. Okay, generally this happens, but actually from piliform to clavate or capitate, every type of antenna may be present in Lepidopteran. Even based on the sex, male and female, they contains different kinds of antenna. Okay, so as you can see, this one, female contains a normal filiform or cetaceous antenna, whereas male contains this unipectinate type of antenna. Okay, so it varies because can you tell why the male contains this kind of antenna where the females contain very simplified antenna? Why the antenna of males are more complex as compared to female? Anyone know? Because we have studied morphology, antenna portion is already covered, I guess. So you can try to answer.
सर
Why?
फेरेमोन
Tell.
सर फेरेमोन रिसेप्टर के लिए सर
Okay, good. What are the other reasons? Okay, this is absolutely correct answer. What happens actually, no? If the male antenna is more complex, means the surface area of the male antenna is bigger. The biggest surface area contains different kind of sensory organs that may be chemoreceptors, that may not be chemoreceptors. So what they actually recept, they recept the female signals, that is by means of pheromones. That's why this male antenna is very much long as well as very much complex. Okay. Generally, if you find any insect, first check the antenna. Based on the antenna, you can predict the sex of the insect. Like different, if I tell, um, the leaf wavers of crucifers, like Crocidolomia. I think you have heard about this. Crocidolomia binotalis or Crocidolomia pavonana. Okay, the males contains more than 50 segments in antenna. More than 50 segments in antenna in males. Okay, so these are some things which by which you can predict the sex of an insect. Okay, as I have cited one paper here. Okay, if any one of you are interested, then go to the link of this paper. and you can check that different kind of and like Maruca vitrata, sorry, it is Aries vitella. This Aries vitella antenna contains different kind of sensilla, more than 10 number of sensilla are there. Okay, for performing different duties, not only the pheromone perception but also different duties. Okay, likewise. Now, these are some peculiar characters of Lepidopteran mouthparts, and it is very important for your JRF. Very important. Please remember all the points covered here. There are only 4 or 5 points are here. So please remember all the points. What mandibles are present and dented in Micropterigidae. It is a lower group of Lepidopterans. Lower group of Lepidopterans. Okay. And as I have mentioned, that number of maxillary pulp, number of segments of maxillary pulp is very important in Lepidopterans. So see, this is Tineidae, okay, where you have 5 to 6 segmented maxillary pulpae. In Noctuidae, it is 2 to 3 segmented, and in case of sphingids, papilionids, and geometrids, it is only single segmented maxillary pulpae. Okay. Tineidae, I think you know, cloth moths. Okay. Noctuid is very common family, this Spodoptera group. This is Sphinxid, head moth, dead's hawk moth, that is Acherontia. Papilionidae, you know, Papiliodemolius, that is your citrus butterfly. And this Geometridae. Do you know this specimen? What is this? This Geometridae. It is very important pest of tea.
Semi-looper, sir.
Semi-looper. Semi-looper or looper?
Looper, sir.
Exactly.
Looper.
What is the scientific name?
Western suppress area.
सही बोला
Exactly. Biston suppressoria. This is Biston suppressoria. Okay. Okay, good. Now come to the thorax. Okay. This is a dissected thorax, and then after that, after dissection, the pictures are taken. Okay. This is the actual thorax of Lepidoptera. See, this is very small prothorax. Sorry. This is very small prothorax. This portion. Very small. As in, see, prothorax is the smallest segment of the entire thorax. However, it is quite evident in lower group of Lepidopterans like Micropterigidae, like Hepialidae, where the prothorax is bit longer and bit evident. Then comes to the mesothorax. Mesothorax is the largest segment of thorax. Okay, this mesothorax contains this portion. This entire portion is mesothorax. This entire portion is mesothorax. Sorry, this entire portion is mesothorax. Okay. Among these, the almost 75% of portion covered by this, which is known as mesoscutum or scutum. Okay. And this trapezoidal portion is known as scutellum. Okay. So, as you can see, mesoscutum contains 75% and mesoscutellum contains 25% of the part. Okay, so mesoscutum is larger than mesoscutellum. So the thorax is generally represented by the mesoscutum, where you pin your samples, that is mesoscutum, actually mesoscutum. Okay. Then this metathorax. Metathorax is larger than prothorax, but smaller than this your mesothorax. Okay. Similarly, it contains these metascutum. These are the metascutum. This is laterally looked. This is the metascutum. And this frontally triangular region is known as postnotum, which is present in some of the families, which is present in some of, sorry. Hmm. Okay, we are back. This postmortem is present some of the families, not all, but most of the higher Lepidopteran groups, they contain this postmortem. Postmortem is such a portion by which it is covered, it is jointed with abdomen. Okay, so this is all about the Lepidopteran thorax, where the basic portion or the bigger portion is the mesothorax. Okay, now this is a very important slide in terms of your JRF. Try to remember each and every point given here. Okay, it is very important. Starting with, generally insects contain 3 pairs of legs: 6 leg, 4 leg, middle leg, hind leg. But in some families like Nymphalidae, the 4 legs are reduced. So basically it has 4 legs, means total number of legs are 4, 2 pairs. So that's why it is known as 4-footed butterflies. The another synonym is brush-footed butterflies, because their legs are invariably consists of lot of scales. That's why it is known as brush-footed butterflies. Also, the another name is 4-footed butterfly. Four-footed because it has 4 functional legs. The 4 legs are reduced. Okay. Next, the hind legs are reduced in some Geometridae and Hepialidae. Remember this. 4 legs are there, mid legs are there, but some hind legs are reduced in some Geometridae and Hepialidae. All legs are degenerated in Psychidae. Only in which sex? Do you know? In which sex of Psychidae all legs are degenerated? Any one of you?
Female.
Yeah, female. These females do not have any legs, but the males have legs. Any example of this Psychidae? Okay, wagworm, correct. It is one of the important pests of coconut. Then prothoracic legs having tibial epiphysis. In which family? It is in Papilionidae. What is the purpose? Anyone? What is the purpose of tibial epiphysis? Any one of you? Tell. Try to tell. Okay. These epiphyses are nothing but some seta-like structures, okay, which is present in the forelegs of papillonid, which is help to clean the antenna, eyes, like this, okay, because some of the papillonids, bigger papillonids, are associated with pollination. So pollen are associated with their antenna and all. So that may hinder for sound perception, for any kind of perception, maybe sensory perception. So that's why, like the honeybees, it is needed for them also to clean their antenna and compound eyes. So this is the purpose of the tibial epiphysis, which is present in papillonids. Okay. Next, hind tibia may bear tuft of scales, probably acting as what? It is probably acting as sound receptor organ, okay, or uh, auditory organ. Also, it may act as this for what I tell, chemoreceptors. Chemoreceptors. Okay. So many of the butterflies, many of the moths, their hind tibia consist of tuft of scale acting as the sound receptor organs or some chemoreceptor organs. Okay. Tarsi are mostly five segmented, as you know. Swallow and Basitarsus, it is seen in Lichenidae. And these tarsus are generally without claws or with claws. The claws are bifid in case of Pieridae and claws are not there in case of Lichenidae. And these are very important taxonomic characters of these butterfly families. Okay, the number of claws and their pattern. If it is bifid, then there is a certain chance to be Pieridae. If claws are wanting, then there is a certain chance it may be Lichenidae. Okay, so please remember these points because these are very important from your exam point of view. Now, the Lepidopteran wings. As you have know everything, Lepidoptera has scaly wings. Basically, they are membranous. Both the wings, both hind wings and forewings are membranous wings. Okay. What you don't know is the wing venation. It is a very detailed study of wing venation because wing venation is also from taxonomic importance. Okay. So the basic thing, what you need to know is there are some certain group of lepidopterans where forewing and hindwing has almost same venation. And there are some other group of lepidopterans where the forewings and hindwings are of totally different kind of venation, which is most common. If the forewing and hindwing, the venation the venational pattern is same, venation same, then it is known as homoneurous wing venation. If it is not same, then it is known as heteroneurous wing venation. Homoneurous wing venation is mostly evident in Micropterigidae. That is the lower group of lepidopterans. However, in the higher group of lepidopterans, like the Ditracians, there is heteroneurous wing venation. That is, the venational pattern of forewings and hindwings are different. Okay, just you remember this much. No need to know what are the veins are different, what are the veins are there. No need to know. Just remember these two terminology, homoneurous and heteroneurous. This is not necessary for you. If any one of you are interested, go to this paper and you can see within different Noctu idea superfamily how the different venational patterns are there. But this is absolutely not necessary for you. See, these are primitive wing venation, homoneurous wing venation. This is of this is of Micropterigidae and this is of Hepialidae. Okay, these are the lower group of lepidopterans where homoneurous venation is observed. Now, as we move towards the higher lepidopterans, that is heteroneurous, that is forewing and hindwing venation is totally different. Okay, but there are some ancient forms may be present. Okay, why we are telling the ancient forms? Because of the presence of cubitus 2 vein. Okay, because as you proceed towards the higher lepidopterans, there is a partial or full atrophy of cubitus 2. Okay, but in case of Causidae, the cubitus 2 vein is present. That's why it is known as the ancient most form of heteroneurous wing venation. Okay, as you move towards the higher ones, the atrophy of second cubital veins are noticed. Okay, so any one of you can know? Can you know? Do you know what is the example of coccidae? Any example of coccidae? It is very important pests of maybe coffee, maybe those fruit crops like mango. Okay, any one of you? Do you know the example of coccidae? Any one example? Okay. Do you know this insect, red borer of coffee? Okay. Do you know this name? Bark eating caterpillar. Do you know anything?
Intervallate tetrons.
Yeah, Indervilla tetraonis. So probably you have read from DS Reddy, and there it is written as Meterbellidae. But as the current classification occurs, Meterbellidae is not a specific family. Meterbellidae is now a superfamily, Meterbellinae, under the family Coccidae. Okay. So these Coccidae constitutes this red borer of coffee, that is Zeuzera coffee. Zeuzera coffee. Zeuzera. Zeuzera coffee. Okay. And this barketing caterpillar like Indervella tetraunis or Indervella quadrinotata, these constitutes this Coccidae family, and the common name of Coccidae is carpenter moths. Please remember, the common name of Coccidae is carpenter moths. Okay. Now, there are some key points. Trigramma, formative cell of Semper, and Androconia. Trigramma is a three-pronged fork which represented by third medial vein, first cubital vein, and cubitus 1b. Okay, it should be remembered by you. And these scales, as I have mentioned, that Lepidopteran constitutes of different kind of scales. Na? These are unicellular or multicellular, whatever I am telling. These particular scales are secreted by specific group of ectodermal scales, ectodermal cells, which are present in wings. That is known as formative cell of Semper. Don't confuse with the don't confuse with the sorry don't confuse with the Semper cell. Semper cell is something associated with the compound eyes. Okay, this is formative cell of Semper, which is the cell which is the cell responsible for secretion of scales in Lepidopteran wings. Then I have also mentioned that scales may be multicellular also. Unicellular scales are there, but some of these scales may be multicellular. What are the cells which are multicellular? This is known as androconia or scented scale, which is mostly present in the male insects, not in the females. Male insects contains this androconia, which are different from the other scale from in the cellular level, structural level, as well as biochemical levels. Because these particular scales are necessary to produce a particular order. Okay, mostly the male insects are having these androconial patches. Okay, these androconial patches may be present in different portion of the wings, maybe in forewings, maybe in hindwings. So it may vary within the different families. Okay, so this much is needed for your JRF JRF exam preparation.
Hello, sir.
Tell.
What is Semper here?
Formative cell of Semper, na? I think Semper is a scientist, maybe a scientist. Based on his name, it is given. Okay.
Okay.
Don't confuse. What I want to tell, ki don't confuse with Semper cell and formative cell of Semper. Okay, these two are different. I would like to tell you also check what is the meaning of Semper here. I think it is some of the scientists' name. Okay.
Okay.
Mm. Then the wing coupling apparatus of Lepidopterans, as you know, the lower Lepidopteran contains this Juget coupling. Okay. The moths mainly contain the frenet, and the butterflies having amplexiform. Okay. So as you can see, this is the jugum region. This particular portion is probably known as fibula. Please check with your wing chapter. Please check with the wing chapter. Maybe it is known as fibula. Okay. Then this is the frenet coupling, where the hind wing contains this frenet or frenulum, and these forewing here, this is a patch of scale which is known as this retinaculum. Okay. So presence or absence of the number of frenulum, the number of frenulum, it is important to know about the sex of the moth. If it is one, then it is male. If it is more than one, then it is female. Okay. So what is this? This particular specimen, either it is male or female. Any one of you tell? This is frenulum. If the number of frenulum is 1, it is male. If the number of frenulum is more than 1, then it is female. So what is this? Male or female? Any one of you tell? Vishwanatha Reddy, tell.
Male, sir.
Yeah, smell. Why are you taking time? You can see now it is only one here. Okay. In case of amplexiform, it is, people tell, or most of the literatures tell, that it is the most simplest type of wing coupling, where simple overlapping of fore and hind wings occur. Okay. So I give you two conditions. Suppose this is the forewing, this is the hind wing. This is the forewing, this is the hind wing. Okay, consider this one. So what is the wing coupling actually? Whether the wing coupling occurs like this, or whether the wing coupling occurs like this. These are the two conditions. Okay. Do you know what is the coupling pattern? The dotted line means the portion of these wings is not visible from the eye or with your eye. Okay. So these are two positions. One is this, one is that. What is actually occurring in amplexiform type of wing coupling? Either the first one or the second one.
Second.
Second
First
one.
one.
Who is telling first one and who is telling second one?
I am telling first one.
First one. Okay, you are telling the first one. And who is telling the second one?
Second, sir.
You are telling second one. Okay. So there is a conflict of interest between these two. uh, who is telling the first one? Please explain. Why are you telling the first one is correct?
Because I'm seeing in the picture there is forewing is below the hind wing. Hind wing
Okay.
is clearly visible over the forewing, which you have explained in the first picture.
Okay. Okay, good. And who is telling the second one is correct? Who is telling the second one is correct? Second one? Who is telling the second one here? Bolo? It's okay. So this is your home assignment. You need to know what is the reason behind this. Either the first one is correct or the second one is correct. This is your home assignment. Everyone should give the answer to me. Personally, you can give the answer. Okay. One assignment I have covered. This is how can you differentiate whether it is a male Sporoptera litura or female. Okay. And this is another point. This is another assignment. You can take a note of it and you can answer me in person. Personally, you can answer me. Okay. This is your home assignment. I will not tell anything about this. Okay. Then coming to abdomen. Rather, I would like to tell this is the most important tagmata of Lepidopterans. Okay. Because it contains genitalia, external genitalia, which is taxonomically most important portion. To differentiate between two species of a particular genus. Okay. Male genitalia, especially male genitalia, it is very important. Okay. So I will tell you an example in the next slide. Before that, we have two basic types of Lepidopteran abdomen. Based on that, we have divided into two suborders. One is monotrichia, another one is ditrichia. I think most of you has know it that monotrichia means only a single pore. The single pore is necessary for both copulation as well as egg laying. That is your micropterigidae. Whereas in case of ditrichia, there are two pores. For copulation, it is 8 segmental pore, 8 segmental pore, and for egg laying, it is 9 segmental pore, which is present in the higher group of Lepidopterans. Okay. However, there is in between, there is another group, which is not necessary, but still I am telling you, that is known as exoporia. Okay. These exoporians have a single pore, but it has two different tubes for copulation and egg laying. Or that means for sperm and for egg. There is two different tubes, and these two different tubes are connected by a external groove. But the number of pore is only one. The example is Hepialidae. Okay, that is not necessary. You will definitely learn about it when you are in MSc. Okay. Now, the abdominal segments 7 to 10 or 8 to 10 are modified to form the external genitalia. It is very important to differentiate among different species of the same genera, as I have mentioned. Okay. Now, this is the point. See, how to differentiate among Spodoptera litura, Spodoptera litoralis, and Spodoptera iridania. These three are looking almost same. 1, 2, 3, almost looking same. Especially this 1 and 2. They cannot be distinguished by your naked eye. You cannot even distinguish between seeing in the naked eye. Okay. It is only the male external genitalia. By this point, you can easily identify the particular specimen. You see, First one is it is Spodoptera litura. Second one is Spodoptera littoralis. Third one is Spodoptera iridania. See this triangular portion, this portion. Here it is, see here. A typical, this structure is present. See for Spodoptera littoralis. See, it is something like this. See for Spodoptera iridania, it is simply V-shaped. So this much is important male genitalia is. Okay, this is inverted V-shaped. This is somewhat trapezoidal, whereas it is normal V-shaped. So this is the type by which we can differentiate between these particular three species within a genus itself. Okay. So this is the important, this is not necessary for you definitely, just I am citing one example that it is differentiated based on the male genitalia. Okay, now this is important from your JRF point of view. Tympanum and its position, okay, because it is varied in different families. Okay, like it is either side of metathorax or at the base of the abdomen, around the first abdominal spiracle in case of Geometridae, abdomen in case of Pyraloidea. Tympanum may not be present in case of Sphingidae, in case of Hepialidae, in case of Coccidae. Okay. Pilifer, it is a specialized tympanal organ in the second labial pulp segment present in Coriocampine hawk moths or hawk moths. Tympanum is present in the base of the hindwings in case of Nymphalidae, and in case of metacatepisternum, in case of Erebidae, it is in metacatepisternum. Okay. Do you know any example from Erebidae?
Amsector albistega.
Exactly. That is red hairy caterpillar. Any other example from Erebidae?
Spirosoma.
Tell.
Spirosoma.
Yeah, Spirosoma. This is common name?
Bear hairy caterpillar.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. So you may read that Arctidae. Arctidae is the family, probably you have read. But based on the new classification, Arctidae is no longer a family. It is a subfamily. That is Arctinae under the family Erebidae. Okay. So these points are very much necessary for you to for your JRF preparation point of view. Please remember all these points. Now these are the metamorphosis. As you know, the Lepidoptera having complete metamorphosis. This metamorphosis portion, please refer to the metamorphosis chapter of Insecta 1. You can read. Now, some of the agriculturally important families of butterflies. Okay. Definitely you need to read Insecta for sure. But I have given a very concise points. Based on that, you can easily differentiate or differentiating characters between these 4-5 butterfly families. Okay, like starting with Nymphalidae, Lichenidae, Pieridae, Papilionidae, and then Hesperidae. So first see the which are the similar characters between among Nymphalidae, Lichenidae, Pieridae, and Papilionidae. Okay. First is antenna slender with an abrupt club. That means capitate antenna. Then labial pulp is moderately long, more or less rough-haired, and terminally pointed like this. Then obsolete maxillary pulpi, forewing with second cubital vein is absent, hindwing without frenulum, second cubital vein is absent, and subcostal and first radial vein are fused. This is very important character, SC plus R1. Okay. Now, what are the difference among these particular 4 families? You can see one by one. First, nymphalidae is very easy because the anterior legs are useless for walking. Means, as I have mentioned, this is four-footed butterfly, nymphalids. Okay, so by that point, you can easily identify what is nymphalid and what is lichenid. For lichenid, see the first four anterior tarsi, which is more or less abbreviated, and most importantly, the claws are absent, as I have already mentioned in the leg portion. Claws are absent. Then for Pieridae, hind wings with two anal veins, that is 1A and 2A, that is Pieridae. If the hind wings contain only one anal vein, then it is for sure Papilionidae. Also, Papilionidae, you can find a elongation of M3 or third medial vein. Okay, which is evident in most of the papilionids except Papiliodemolias. Okay, what is Papiliodemolias? What is the common name of it?
Citrus butterfly.
Citrus butterfly.
Okay, correct. So this Papiliodemolias does not have any prolongation or elongation. Rather, all the other specimens, all the other members of this Papilionidae family, it contains this particular elongation of third medial vein. Okay. Now the question occurs: Hesperidae. Hesperidae, you know Hesperidae? Can you name an example of Hesperidae?
Paddy skipper.
Scientific name? Scientific name? Do you know? It is Pelopidus mathias. Okay. So there are some differences between Hesperidae and these four butterfly families. What is the difference? What is the difference? This is also your home assignment. Okay. I am giving an clue. Please follow the antenna. Based on the antenna, you can easily differentiate whether it is Hesperidae or non-Hesperidae. Okay, this is another home assignment of you. Now, if I go to the moth families, agriculturally important moth families, okay, different groups of moth families are there. It is very well written in Insecta as well as in Refresher Treatise, these books. You have to follow these books. Apart from that, I'm giving some of the important families. Okay, starting with Gracillaridae. Do you know any example of Gracillaridae?
Phylacteries citrella.
What is the common name?
Citrus leaf miner.
Okay, very good. Citrus leaf miner. And this is exactly citrus leaf miner. Okay. So you read the characters. Basic important thing is the resting position. This resting position typically indicates that it is comes under the Gracillaridae. Okay. So you read the characters of this particular family. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Similarly, this is Gallekid. Can you cite an example of Gallekids?
Potato tuber moth.
Tuber moth.
Groundnut leaf miner.
What?
Groundnut leaf miner.
Okay, groundnut leaf miner, Aproaremia. So,
Multiples.
do you know what is this specimen? This is one of the very important pests.
Tuta
Of,
absoluta.
exactly, exactly. Please remember that Tuta absoluta is no longer available. It is known as Thoremia absoluta. Okay, this is Thoremia absoluta. This is not DBM. DVM is somewhat different. I'll see. I'll show you how you how can you identify this portion. See, the labial pulpi is somewhat off curved like this. This is the main character of calichids. Now, this is another important one, proticids. Okay, can you know? Do you know any examples of proticids? Any example of proticids? Very important insects they are. It is an important pest of apple. Now, anyone? Okay, no issue. This is Cydia. Cydia pomonella. Okay, same specimen I've cited here. It is known as codling moth of apple. Codling moth of apple. How you can identify this shape of the forewings? It is known as bell-shaped. Bell-shaped forewings. Okay. So by this you can identify tortoises. Please try to read these characters. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. This is another important thing. Do you know what is this particular specimen? This specimen 1A, this specimen 1B. What is the name of this particular specimen? Can you identify? This is
Sorghum
an
borer.
what? What? Tell. अरे यार बोलो. Don't be shy. Tell. This is an important pest of sugarcane. Okay. Okay, you do not know. Okay, no issue. This is root borer. That is Immalocera depressella. Okay. And this is very common. Corsida cephalonica. Okay. Okay. Now this is
Castor shoot
what?
borer.
Castor?
Castor shoot borer. Shoot and
What is the scientific name? That I'm telling.
Conagathis punctiferalis. Maybe.
Okay, very good. This is Conogathus or Dichocrossis punctiferalis. Okay. And this one? Do you know this one? Any one of you? This is an important pest of pulse.
Clue moth.
No, this is not plume moth. Plume moth is something like this. Okay. Plumes are there. This is not plume moth. This is actually your Maruca. Maruca vitrata. Okay. So your work is to find out the families of these four insects. To find out these families of these four insects and find out the reason why I kept these as group A and why I kept these as group B. Okay. Next, try to find the basic differences between group A and group B. Is there any difference between group A and group B? That is your work. Now, similar way, you try to identify all these 12 specimen up to at least up to their family level and and try to remember one or two or three four characters, best 3-4 key characters of this particular insects, or rather their families. Okay, so I have kept 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. These 12 specimens I have kept here try to identify up to their family level. If you know what is that particular specimen, then it is very fine. Try to identify. If you have any difficulties, you can contact. Okay. Now, so what we have done, these 12 specimen up to their family level, 3-4 basic characters. Please read the difference between the butterflies and moths. Very important thing, very easy thing, very common thing, yet we generally forget what is the differences. Okay. Then type of Lepidopteran eggs and larvae, please refer to Metamorphosis chapter 1, and always read the common names of the families like Cosidae. Cosidae, the common name is Cosidae, carpenter moths. Likewise, you need to know these common names. Finally, do you know this person? This person? Any one of you? Okay. So he's a very great personality, Mr. David Attenborough. Okay. So he's with the world's largest butterfly, one of the largest butterflies it is, and very, very good looking butterflies it is. Just for your general knowledge, try to know that is we are celebrating the big butterfly month in the month of September. Entirely the whole September is totally dedicated for these winged wonders. We are studying their roles in the nature, so their roles in the ecosystem, what are their pestiferous role, what are the beautification they added to the nature, and all these things we study in this particular month. This is the September, known as the big butterfly months, and all over India it is celebrated. Okay, so try to know that is this big butterfly month, it is September. Okay, so you may find Devin Attenborough videos in his YouTube channel. You may find his YouTube channels. Okay, so it is a very important channel and very, very good channel. You can get different kinds of videos, and I'm sure that we'll love that. So that's all for today. We have covered the entire Lepidoptera, though it is very much difficult to cover the entire Lepidoptera in one class. This is one of the most diverse orders. So thank you all, and thanks to all the butterflies and moths. For you. Huh? Okay. And I have given some of the assignments to you today. Please do it as early as you can. And if you have any doubt, you can easily contact with me. No issue. You can personally message me. Okay. So try to complete this. And uh, I've heard that yesterday we have conducted one exam on morphology. Soon be ready for the taxonomy exam also. Uh, there are a number of mentors who will set the paper, so be ready with that, and the topper will definitely felicitate it on by online mode. Okay, so that's all. If you have any doubts, quickly we'll recapitulate within 5 minutes. Otherwise, we'll end the session. Anyone of you have any doubts?
Sir,
Tell.
sir, this Uniramia is subclass for what, sir?
Uniramia.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, this is one of the. Um, it's not easy to tell whether Uniramia is a subclass or not. Better you, if you better avoid this Uniramia terminologies for your JRF perspective, na, it will be better. There is no need to know Uniramia, because these are very typical terminologies. I know in Insecta it is written as your subclass. Sorry, what you are telling. But Uniramia is separate group. It is an informal group. Okay, it's better to avoid this Uniramia. But for JRF, whatever you are reading in the Insecta book, it's fine. Okay. Don't uh don't go for those things. Don't read from refresher this aspect, the Apterigota aspect, and this uh systematic group, systematic portion. Portion means what I am telling. What are the suborders, superorders? Don't need to read for JRF examination. Okay. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Bye. Any question? Okay, fine. Then we'll wind up the session with this. Please send the assignments by as early as possible. If you have find any doubt, you can easily contact with me. Okay, thanks.